Hey everyone, Corey here, coming in to do my weekly channeled message. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I feel like I'm in the dark, but hey, isn't that just life? But we should be in the light. And no, feel very in the light. So today's message is for the week of May the 2nd. I just finished recording the monthly message as well. I don't rewatch them. I don't look back over them. So I just know that I left and went into full channel and fully give a message of some sort from God consciousness, however you want to call it, that energy. So do watch that one as well as this one as well. This message I'm bringing in for this week is tied around me truly becoming me. Now, and not just me. It's not all about me. This is about us, being our truest versions of ourselves and to not to deny ourselves. And I just chuckle as I look down at a bag of sage and it has like the goat with the fish tail on it, and I just went, oh yeah, there's the two parts of us. And for me, I'm an Aries. For anyone who's an Aries who's had Chiron just so like in our charts, like just having such a hold and of the unhealed healer for so long. I have taken that journey. I've been through the journey of the dark night of the soul many times. The last one has been very horrific in so many ways, but very beautiful in so many other ways. A few last week or the week before, I posted a channel message about, and I'm not sure if it's here or in my channel group, my private group that you can join. And I posted a message about experiencing watching people who are stars upon this earth or have been very influential or did some good things in this world, watch them leave. And so Guy Lafleur, Montreal hockey player, very much influential. His statue is directly on the ground because he said, do not put me on a pedestal. Left. Another hockey player who was very influential, Canadian as well, left. We also had another beautiful soul leave a few days ago, and as Naomi Judd passed, as she left this earth. And so I could see these stars returning home, and I could see these stars leaving earth. And these stars they had served their purpose on earth, and they have so much more to do. And so this week's message also brings forth that, and I have Archangel Jophiel, who's coming in with a message of, if we could all see ourselves in the eyes of God, we all see ourselves as beautiful. And if we could all see ourselves as the beautiful that we speak of and the love that we speak of, and you wouldn't see yourself in the arrogance of imitation, mockery, or filtered, or having to try to be something that you're not. And if we could see ourselves in the beauty and in the and understanding what love really means, to love thyself, to love others, to be in the company of love in a relationship and what it means. And it doesn't come with dictatorship or ownership or control. It comes with releasing from the conditions that we place upon who we think people should be. And if somebody's in our lives and we create the whole image or the role of who we think they should be, how we think they should show up, how if they're not doing the things that makes us happy in relationship, then what are we in relationship with? And who are we in relationship with? Are we in relationship with the version of them that we are trying to create people to be? And we do this in the narratives of everything, right down to the person you don't know that you create a story about. This is who they are. That's what they do. This is the kind of person they are. How the hell do you know? You don't. And so you create these hells, these capsules of vortexes of hells, I call them, of expectations and assumptions that takes us into these greater places of the depths of the darkness by believing we're in the light, by believing our opinions and thinking that we know that we're right. You don't know. We don't know. So sometimes it's not about somebody else you're taking off the pedestal. Sometimes you have to take your own self off the pedestal. And we're at a very critical time when it's time for ourselves to take ourselves off our soapboxes and off our own pedestals. When we go into comparison, when we go into judgment and criticism of somebody else for not being who we want them to be, or who we think they should be, or for kind of proving the narrative of your story to be not true. And so if you look at this right down so much as even the relationship with self, the relationship that you're in relationship to children, to your own children, your expectations, who you think they should be, or the narratives that you tell people about who and what they are based on what you don't want exposed about them, that you don't want people to know, the justifications, the filtering out of stories. So the greatest sense of darkness that has been bestowed, or the imposter energy, has been the filters and what's been filtering through our lives. And so the one person who makes a choice to judge the person who puts a filter on their phone and judge them for putting the filter on, what put you on that pedestal, or what gives us a right to that pedestal? Something to think about. And so then on the other side, why do we feel the need to filter? Why are we afraid of our own vulnerability? Why are we afraid? Why do we fear our vulnerability? Why do we fear our weaknesses? Why do we try to disguise, mask, hide the so-called weaknesses? Why do we have such a relationship with the essence of looking in the mirror with judgment and criticizing? Because we've lost that sense of joy and peace within. So this week we're being guided to bring forth the essence through Archangel Jophiel of what it is to be in the eye, we are all beautiful in the eye of God. We are all beautiful in the eye of the beholder. And in the eye of the beholder, if you can look close enough in, if you can narrow in, get in. So where is our world not feeling beautiful? And what role are we playing in contributing to our world not feeling beautiful? What expectations have you placed upon the world around you? What expectations have you placed upon yourself? What judgment have you thrown out there? What assumption? What opinions? What knowledge do you believe with such conviction, but it came from opinions and somebody else's discovery of truth? But even if it's crippling you, you will not trust your own truth. So we're seeing exposure of this. We're also seeing that of the collapsing of the hearts. We're seeing that of not being able to operate from, we're being told, how many times have you told your kid to follow your heart? But if your heart is broken, if instinctually you live in fight or flight, and you just told somebody to trust their heart, where do you think they're going? They're going on the run. They're going out to be the avoider. Or they got something to prove. Healing brings forth being able to travel in through these chambers of the hearts in different ways and going deeper and finding more to discover that if I'm at peace, if my world is at peace, if I'm not looking at the person who's sitting next to me and thinking, well, they're not fulfilling anything that I want to. They're not doing this. They're tired. They're always tired. They're lazy. They can't keep up to me. They don't give me enough hugs. They don't give me enough attention, blah, 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 blah. Now go out and follow your heart, because the next person will be identical to it. Identical. Because your love is built upon expectations of the other person meeting your emotional and spiritual needs to fill your world full of everything. As if when you place judgment, that we act as if we are perfect. Every time you go to place judgment, am I that perfect that have I reached that place that I can pass that judgment, that I can be that? Even the stories that other people tell you that you're like, no, I'll hate on somebody else because somebody else told me that's the way that person is. So F them. No, no, there's no way. They would never lie to me. There's a narrative that would be pushed for anyone not to have to feel to know their true truth beyond, to taking ownership and responsibility. And all of this week, this month, this May is really truly coming up. This week is about us having to really truly acknowledge what we need to do to be able to work with emotions, to recognize our own world that's created, that's collapsing, that was built on emotions, and to work from that higher place, to know that higher energy is here to guide us back in, to be a part of it on a deeper level, to be there, to not let ourselves be disillusioned by our own truth, by our own stories, to come into that new sense of understanding, that new sense of energy, to be able to move forward with a sense of we all are on that journey of discovery. We're all on that journey of learning. We all could use a helping hand. We can all use a beautiful compliment. We can all use some encouragement. We can all use some support. And if we want to find our way back into that beautiful blissfulness of life, we got a lot we have to do to be that kind of kind to each other, to be that kind of gentle. So if you want to see you in the eyes of God, you have to be willing to see yourself. And this is I'm going to call it's the collective of nine somehow. The collective of nine that's coming in, that's also bringing in this Gabriel energy. And this is, staying determined. They're digging, they have their shovel, they're planting new seeds and growing, working in that partnership together to be the twos that we need to be, to come together in that sense of self, to know that anything is possible if we have that sense of faith, but kindness and caring about what we're doing. That it's never too late to plant new seeds, to see people in the light instead of in the dark, see people in light instead of with such judgment. That people are where they are because of the conditioning. People are where they are because of previous choices. We've all made them, and it's time for us to be a part of the solution and not part of the problem. If you want someone to be a better person, don't keep contributing to everything else that have made them who they were, that has taken them to the place. Be the person that can be the one who says something kind, not something else more judgmental, not something else more critical. Solutions is coming up. We want to see success. We have to compromise on our sense of having to be fulfilled right now in this moment, to fill our cup, and that somebody else needs to get up, jump up, and be a different person right now to make you feel better in this moment, whether it's one person in your home or a whole world. It's not going to happen that way. So finding that solution and knowing that is that we have to start feeding into ourselves that sense of, if I want to be treated a certain way, if I want to be treated this way, then I also have to learn the power of doing this outside of myself, to learn the truth of what it is to be compassionate, kind, caring, loving, what it is to live on purpose and divinely on purpose, is to also not to look into another with the same conviction of that you think you know who they should be, but also that you stop trying to stay in relationship with the version of you that is the version of you that you're trying to let to go to rest. Stop filtering it, defending it, stop denying it the opportunity to go rest, and let that version of you go rest, so that your truth can start to find its way up and start to shine up and out in this world. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful things that we can do. And we're coming into that time of forgiveness. And we should always be in there. But of forgiving ourselves for thinking the way that we have been thinking from our human hearts, the way that we have been guiding people to trust their hearts, but from a society that has been really, truly in so much trauma response, fight, flight, fear, freeze, fawn. And responding from that place is not responding from the right part of the heart. There's chambers that enter into that high heart, entering to that high heart, knowing that if we can operate from God will, from our third eye, from the thought of, how would the angels, how would God, how would the divine show up? to be beautiful with your words, with your thoughts, with your action, to be beautiful in how we present ourselves, how we represent ourselves, and how we show up in the world, how we are in relationship to everyone and everything. That's the beauty we're seeking. That's the journey this week. And not just this week, but for the rest of our lives. It's time for us to start really, truly putting some real consideration into that. And where am I not that? And how do I have to start to become more of that with myself so I can be more of that within the world? Much love and have a beautiful week. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.